Saranda Albania might just be the perfect winter destination for you if you are looking to get out of the Schengen region. We have been here in Saranda for a full month, all of February. We've really loved it, and we are going to explain exactly why it might be right for you.
So as long-term travelers, one of our greatest nemeses is the Schengen zone.
Bum, bum, bum.
Now, for travelers coming into the Schengen zone, we can spend 90 days out of every 180 days. It's a little more nuanced than that, but as long-term travelers who are spending, 1 month, 2 months in our destinations, basically that's what we're looking at. Now, we just spent some time there and we want to come back to Schengen this summer where we're going to hike the Camino in France and Spain. And so we needed to be out of the Schengen zone for at least 90 days. There are not a whole lot of options right in that area. More and more countries keep joining the Schengen. Romania and Serbia are set to join later this year. So we were looking for a place where we could spend some time, and we set our sights on Albania and Montenegro. Saranda is on the southern coast of Albania. We are just north of Greece. In fact, right out the window here, we can see Corfu across the bay. It is only 20 miles away. It is beautiful. If you want to see a video we did on our winter days in Corfu, I will leave that link to that right up here. But our location here, we're still in Southern Europe, which means we can still have some pretty good weather here in Saranda.
The weather is nice. It has been so pleasant. I think the average is in the upper 50s to the 60s, very comfortable. We only really need a sweatshirt when we're in the shade, but when we're out on the promenade, it is nice and lovely in the sun. Now, there is some rain, but not very much. It rains more in the winter than it does in the summer. But I think since we've been here the whole month, there's been maybe 5 days of rain.
Yeah, we did have one big storm that was kind of exciting with the lightning and the thunder rolling in. But we've been very, very comfortable here. I mean, we're wearing t-shirts most of the time.
Yeah.
This next point is going to depend on you and your perspective, but for us, being here in winter has been great because there are not the crowds. We have been told summertime here, I mean, Saranda is not an undiscovered place in the summer. This is the Albanian Riviera, and it can get very, very crowded. There are a lot of hotels, there are a lot of restaurants, and there's limited beach space, which we've been told in the summertime can be towel to towel to towel, where you can't even see the sand anymore because there's so many people crowding out there. In February, that has definitely not been our experiences, where most of the people we see on the beach are not actually people. They are just a few street dogs who are warming themselves in the sand. It is wide open. There are definitely other tourists here and other expats who are spending the winter here, but it is not crowded at all. There are big swaths of restaurants and the hotels that are all shut down for the winter. There's still plenty going on. We haven't had any issues. But you can definitely see how this is a summer location. And if you want to come in summer and experience that, so does everybody else. But in the wintertime, it's just a lot easier to get around and it kind of get that feel of what the real Saranda is like.
There are a lot of places that are closed, but don't worry. There are still plenty of places that are open for you to find food. Lots of restaurants. And if you like to cook for yourself, there are also tons of grocery stores. We're seeing them everywhere. Fast food restaurants are very popular here. Not like the US fast food restaurants, but places that serve sandwiches and
just local food.
Souvlaki's and food like that. One that we really liked was called Fast Food Chuchi. We ate there several times and we got some really nice food.
And I think the souvlaki was like $3.50.
Oh yeah, it's a good price. So you'll be happy with the price and the flavor. If you want something a little more Western, they do have a nice hamburger restaurant that we would recommend called Nomad Steak and Burgers, or Burgers and Steaks, I'm not sure which way. Very good burgers there, but they also had chicken sandwiches and salads and other things if you wanted that too. What else did we like? Down on the water. What was the name of the restaurant?
Oh, Lamani.
Lamani. So there is a place right on the water, probably the best location along the promenade. They have outdoor seating. It's a great place to sit in the sun and get a coffee or a drink. We loved the hot chocolate there. We had that often. But they also can get food from the back restaurant and bring it out to you. The cool thing about this place is the prices do not reflect its location.
Yeah.
They are much lower than you would expect for having the prime location in the city.
Another great reason to come here in the wintertime is the cost of housing. Now in the summertime, this place is very popular and crowded, and it is priced at a premium. But in the wintertime, there is just more houses than tourists, and so a lot of places are empty and the prices fall. We are staying in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath Airbnb we found. It is just a little bit up outside of town, up on a hill. We have a beautiful view. I'm going to show you around it. This is the master bedroom. The only weird thing here is the bathroom. It is a wet bath. So we're kind of used to that in Asia, but I was kind of surprised to see one here. But it does have a washing machine. And then you can see it's got the big master bed, which I think is a king-size bed. But I don't know if you can see it with the sun, but the view out this window is just completely amazing and ridiculous. That is Corfu right there in the distance. Every morning, it is just beautiful, beautiful. We really like the views here. But this is a 2-bedroom place. And the other bedroom is right over here, where we have 2 single beds. Again, closet space. There's a little futon in here that I don't think I ever sat on, but it's there. Again, the view out here is not quite so nice. There's some construction right there, but you can kind of see the town through. And there's birds and goats that come out on this little hill, so it's still a nice place. Here's the second bathroom, which is a regular bathroom with a shower and shower curtain. And then we have the kitchen area, which has pretty much everything we needed. Microwave, refrigerator. It doesn't have like a toaster or anything like that, but it's been perfectly fine for us. Table, we have 2 couches. There is a fireplace, but we never used it. But then again, it's this balcony. Now, because we're here in February, we did not take full advantage of the balcony. It wasn't freezing cold, but it was cold enough we would rather be inside. But let's come out. Just again, so you can get a good look at this view because it is so amazing. So we have really enjoyed our stay here. We are spending $22 a night with the monthly discount on Airbnb, which I think is an amazing deal. This place does get a lot more expensive in the summertime. I mean, we're here in February, so prices are low. But that's why we liked it here. Because it's winter, we're getting a really good bargain. The family does live in the building, but I've hardly ever seen them, and they have the cutest dog ever who lives downstairs. Her name is Roxy, and she greets us every time we come or go, and we're absolutely in love with her. So, but this is a great place to stay. I will leave the link in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. So we've been talking to some of the other travelers and some of the other expats that are in town, and they are finding 1-bedroom places for $300, $350 a month. So this is a great place to come in the winter if you're looking for a good deal.
If you'd like to see more videos on long-term travel, hit that subscribe button. We are David and Rob, a travel-loving couple who are here to give you an example of what is possible with your own long-term travels. This may be a small point, but it has made all the difference to our loving this town. The views are spectacular. You can see out across the bay, you can see Corfu, you can see other parts of Albania, and the water in particular is probably some of the most beautiful water I've ever seen. Because of the time of year, the sun is always to the south, it is always low, and since Saranda faces south, there is a shimmer on the water at all times that is just spectacular. Come here for nothing else but the views and you will be happy.
If I was a painter, I would want to live here because the water changes different times of day, different days of the week. Like, I don't even know what it is, but I feel like every time I look out there, it's a completely different
Morning is beautiful, sunset is beautiful, and everything in between.
So when we decided to come to Saranda, we didn't really know what to expect coming in winter to a beach town, and we really had pretty low expectations. Our plan was we were going to sit down, we were going to do a lot of cooking at home, we were going to work on a bunch of projects that we have going on, and we didn't really make a lot of plans to do a lot of sightseeing while we were here. But I have to say, I've been pretty impressed with the things that there are to do. We kind of, as we do, we met one person who introduced us to some other people, who introduced us to some other people. And pretty soon we found ourselves in a local hiking group that was a lot of different travelers and expats. And so we randomly went on a hike with them one day. So we met the group at a little cafe, and there were, I don't know, 20, 25 of us. And we hiked very steep hike up the side of a hill. We didn't go the easy way, but there's two hills that overlook Saranda. On top of one is a monastery. On top of the other is a old castle. I think it's the Lekarisi Castle. They have beautiful views of the whole city and the bay and the valley on the other side. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and we had a really nice hike. And that was just right around town. Like, it was so easy once you get connected to the right people. And you could make that hike by yourself. There's a road that goes right up. So even if you just wanted to take the easy way instead of doing the hard overland way that we went, very accessible and very doable. Definitely two places you want to check out.
And one of the advantages to doing that in the winter is that it is not hot. So you could take the hike up there. I've heard that people in the summertime can only do the hike very early in the morning or in the evening because it's just too hot to do it during the day.
Yeah, we didn't have any temperature problems
at all. Fantastic.
It was beautiful. Another hike that we did with that same group, we took a bus here. It's a local bus. What did that cost us? Like 200 lek, where we took the bus about 45 minutes south of town to Butrint. There is a archaeological park there, and we walked around. It is beautiful. Definitely well worth the day trip to go down there and check out. The entry fee at the Butrint Archaeological Park was, I think, 1,000 lek. But if you go in a group, if you have at least 10 people with you, they drop the price to 800. We didn't have quite that many people in our group, but there were other people on the bus with us that were like, hey, come be in our group. And so we got in for 800, a couple dollars difference there, but that was nice. A good place to spend the day. We had a really good time down there.
Yeah,
just beautiful.
Yeah.
So what else have we done?
There's the museums.
The museums, yeah.
There's a set of museums in town. It's the Museum of Traditions, the Archaeological Museum, and the Gallery of Art. And you can go to all three of them for a total of 100 lek, so $1. It's a great price to get into these museums. The Museum of Traditions is probably the most extensive of the three, and there's lots of photos of Saranda from the first buildings here until today. And it is really interesting that the woman who was working in there was so helpful and generous with her time, showing us each room and showing us all the exhibits. The Museum of Archaeology is basically one thing. There is a huge mosaic floor that was found when they were building other buildings. They dug it up, and they have preserved that floor by building a museum around it. Not a lot to see there, but it is definitely worth entering and taking a peek at that. And then there was the art gallery. The art gallery has a lot of art by local Albanian artists, and definitely worth a look.
And of course, there's the promenade. We will go down there and just walk back and forth a couple of times. The Lomani Cafe is right there. And so we can sit and get a hot chocolate or an orange juice. I'm sure in the summertime, it is just crazy busy down there. But in the wintertime, it is a great place to come, take in the view, and do a little people watching.
Now we'd like to share a few tips about transportation. There is no airport in the Saranda area. The closest airport in Albania is up in Tirana. To get down here from there, you can either take a taxi, which takes about 4 hours and costs $45 to $60 per person, depending on how many people are sharing the taxi, or you can take a bus down, and I think we've heard the bus takes 6 hours and costs about $10. Probably a better option is to take a flight into Corfu, Greece. It's only 20 miles from here across the bay, And once you fly in there, you can take a fast ferry for about 20 euros. That might be a much better option for you.
So even though we had very little planned and really just kind of took it easy while we were here, if I needed another winter escape from Schengen, I would 100% come back and spend more time here. If you're not worried about Schengen and are looking for a Schengen place to spend winter, you can check out one of our videos on Portugal right here.
Today and not tomorrow.